This is Nintendo's newest console, and it is not the most powerful gaming system you can buy today. And that's not a mistake. To understand why Nintendo designs like this, you have to go back to a man who never lived to see it. Let's get into it. You've probably seen this story online. A janitor at Nintendo gets bored at work. He builds a toy out of scrap parts, accidentally invents gaming, and saves the company. It's a great story. It's also mostly wrong. Gunpei Yokoi was not a janitor. He was a maintenance engineer. And that distinction matters. He didn't clean floors. He maintained machines. He understood mechanical systems. And more importantly, he understood limits. Gunpei Yokoi joined Nintendo in 1965. Now, at the time, Nintendo wasn't a video game company. It was a struggling playing card manufacturer in Kyoto. There was no electronics division, no Mario, no Zelda. Yokoi worked on the factory floor, keeping the machines running. In his spare time, he built a simple mechanical toy, an extending plastic grabber, using leftover parts. And one day, Nintendo's president, Hiroshi Yamauchi, saw it, and he didn't praise it. He didn't ask about the creative process. He asked one question. Can this be mass-produced in time for Christmas? And that toy became the Ultra Hand, and it was released in time for Christmas 1966. It went on to sell over 1 million units and helped stabilize Nintendo at a critical moment. But the toy itself isn't why Yokoi matters. What matters is what Nintendo learned from him. Yokoi believed something deeply unfashionable in technology. He believed you shouldn't chase cutting-edge hardware. He called it lateral thinking with withered technology. Old technology, cheap technology, well-understood technology, just used creatively. And instead of asking, what's the most powerful thing we can build? Yokoi asked, what's the most useful thing we can build? That philosophy was tested in the late 1980s. Sega released the Game Gear. It was impressive. It had a color screen, a backlight, more powerful hardware than Nintendo's handheld. Nintendo could have matched it. They didn't. Yokoi said no. Because color screens ate batteries. Backlights ate batteries. Power ate batteries. So Nintendo chose a cheap monochrome screen. The result was clear. The Game Boy ran for about 30 hours on 4 AA batteries. The Game Gear ran for about 3. Nintendo wasn't designing a machine per se. They were designing use. They weren't optimizing for specs. They were optimizing for how people actually live. The market responded clearly. The Game Boy sold over 118 million units. The Game Gear disappeared. But this isn't a fairy tale. Yokoi didn't win every time. In fact, his final project, the Virtual Boy, was a commercial failure. He left Nintendo soon after that. In 1997, Gunpei Yokoi died in a car accident. He never saw the GameCube. He never saw the Wii. He never saw the Switch. But his thinking never left. Nintendo still doesn't chase specs. They chase experience, battery life, comfort, approachability, and fun. Gunpei Yokoi proved something designers often forget. Innovation doesn't require better tools. It requires better judgment. Constraints don't kill creativity. They tell you what actually matters. And that's the real lesson of Gunpei Yokoi and Nintendo. If you enjoy the stories of design that matters, Subscribe for more. I'll be back next week with another. In the meantime, want to play some Mario Kart? Okay, I'll see you in the next one.